Alrighty, so welcome back to another episode of the Chimaera Conversations. This is my podcast where I talk about the latest Star Wars news and media right here on YouTube. So, today was, of course, Chapter 6 of the Book of Boba Fett. Now, this episode, I'd probably say the best one. I let's just get into it. Let's just get into it. So, opening scene, there's a bunch of Pikes doing a spice deal, and then none other than everybody's favorite Boba Fett armor wearing Marshal Cobb Vanth rolls up and puts some Pikes on ice while giving some cool like one-liners and stuff. Uh, he of course makes every Dune fan quiver in fear when he kicks over the box of spice, and I guess it just walks away after that. Um, then the title pops up, and it's called "From the Desert Comes a Stranger." That is a poetic title. That, of course, refers to what happens, I assume, at the end of the episode. So that could also just refer to Boba in this series because, you know, he's presumed dead for 5 years and then he just walks out of the desert and he's like, I'm Boba Fett. Yeah, that's it. That's all he does. That's all he's done this show, by the way. Um, let's see. So then it jumps immediately to Mando going to the still unnamed planet that Luke Skywalker eventually builds his Jedi temple on. It We briefly saw it in The Last Jedi, but that was it. That was all we got. Um, so R2 guides Mando in, and then takes him to a hut that is being built that looks identical to the huts that are on Ahch-To in The Last Jedi. Uh, so that was I guess a call to call back to The Last Jedi, I guess. I don't know. So then the droids, R2 tells the droids to build a bench for Mando to sit and wait on, and that had to be probably one of the funniest things that happened in Star Wars in quite a while. Um, no nobody can escape waiting. So then it jumps to Luke Skywalker and Grogu. And let me just talk about this Luke Skywalker. This Luke Skywalker deepfake, or CGI, or whatever you want to call it, was phenomenal. I mean, they the amount that they have improved in a year is astonishing. And really makes you think. I mean, because I never thought that I would see Luke Skywalker as a main character of any Star Wars, in like anything. But technology has allowed us to have Luke Skywalker as we've never gotten to see him before. And like it blew my mind. It was mind blowing, and I only assume it's going to get better as we progress. So, of course, Grogu's in it. That's what the internet's going to talk about. Oh my gosh, it's Grogu. It's everybody's favorite Baby Yoda. Um, he basically spends this episode unlocking training that he has already received that he remembers. That's kind of how Luke puts it. Is that he's really just remembering what he's already been taught rather than Luke teaching him. Get a nice conversation about Yoda, um, and then you get to see Order 66 from Grogu's perspective at the Coruscant Temple. That was great. Interesting to see how he gets out of that situation, which I assume we're either going to see next episode or in like another year when Mando season 3 comes out. So after that, out of nowhere, Ahsoka just pops up, and I was like, why did Ahsoka just randomly pop up in this episode? Then I remembered that this is the episode that Dave Filoni co-wrote and directed. So I was like, there we go. There, that's why. That's why Ahsoka popped up. Can't have a Dave Filoni anything without Ahsoka popping up in it. So, uh, basically, Mando chooses not to go see Grogu because he doesn't want to ruin his training. So he gives the armor that he had made for Grogu to Ahsoka and parts ways. Um, you get a really nice scene with Luke and Ahsoka. I, by the way, never thought I'd see Luke and Ahsoka talking to each other at any time ever. Like never saw. I thought maybe that they would talk about, maybe it would show up in a book, but no, it actually happened. So yeah, and then of course she says, you're so much like your dad. Like I knew that one was coming. I knew that one was coming. So all Clone Wars fans rejoice. So um, let's see what's next. So basically, after that, Mando leaves, goes back to Tatooine, and sees basically Finnick is explaining the coming battle, which of course we're going to see next week. So get to see a little bit about what the Pikes are planning to do, uh, and that they're just really running amok on Tatooine. So they say that they need muscle, and Mando gets the idea to. Oh, by the way, there was a cameo of Boba Fett in the Book of Boba Fett. That's right. We saw Boba Fett this episode. He gave a nod. So there you go. He was in it. So now no one can complain about this episode saying, Boba Fett was not in this episode. He was. He was. You just got to look closely. So they say that all right, we got muscle now, but now we need ground troops. So Mando's like, oh, ho, ho, I know where to get some ground troops, and flies over to Mos Pelgo, which is now renamed Freetown. Well, the town is renamed Freetown. Mos Pelgo is kind of just the territory. Um, so Cobb Vanth shows back up, and they talk, or Mando and Cobb Vanth talk. Always love to see Cobb Vanth. Great time. Um, Cobb Vanth kind of reluctantly agrees to become soldiers for Boba Fett, but he's going to have a town meeting, and it seems like Cobb Vanth did not tell his people about the Pikes. Um, Kind of seems like he had that hidden. So, needless to say, Mando leaves, and well, in the nice desert distance, we see a man in a duster and a cowboy hat walking towards Freetown, and I'm like, it's like, is that Cad Bane? I was like, no, I don't think it's I don't think it's Cad Bane. As he got closer, I was like, oh, no, that's yep, that's definitely yeah, that's Cad Bane. Um, that's when I started to fear for my boy Cobb Vanth. That's when my heart started to pound a little bit, like, ooh, Cad Bane is rolling up to Freetown. Well, that's not good. So yeah, anyways, they have like a nice little showdown. Um, they Cad Bane tries to dissuade Cobb Vanth from continuing to attack the Pikes, I suppose. He does a pretty poor job at it. Uh, so inevitably, uh, there is a showdown. Uh, Cobb Vanth's stupid deputy, who literally, why was he? I I don't know. I guess they just needed someone unlikable in this episode, so boom, there's a big mouth deputy. So you get to hate him, and then he just gets killed 5 minutes after you meet him. So I guess it works. Um, so Cobb Vanth is nailed in the shoulder, and Deputy gets blasted like 6 times, so he's dead. Uh, Basically, Boba Fett says, "Oh, ho, ho, don't mess with the Pikes, or this will happen to you." And what the Pikes don't know is that now the people of Freetown are 100% going to go up against take up arms against the Pikes. So, yeah, that probably didn't work out too great for them. Probably won't work out too great for them next episode either. Um, the Pikes also blow up the sanctuary. I think that's what it's called. Uh, with the Twi'lek lady that runs it that showed up in every episode. Yeah, they blow that up. I guess to send a message. And then we get to see Grogu again, and Luke gives him the choice of either taking the Beskar armor that Din made for him, or he whips out Yoda's lightsaber and says, "This could be yours, but if you choose the lightsaber, you gotta be a Jedi. But if you choose the armor, I'll take you back to the Mandalorian." And he gives Grogu the choice, like, what do you want to do? Um, I personally think that Grogu's gonna pick the armor. Um, I think the character development that we've had in the last 2 seasons plus the season of Book of Boba Fett. I feel like their connection is too strong. So I feel like he's gonna pick the armor and go back to being Din's sidekick. Um, Technically, if Din chooses to follow his path of becoming the leader of Mandalore, it could pass down to Grogu, and Grogu could wield the dark saber instead of Yoda's little toothpick. Just saying. You never know what the future could hold. I think that thing's a little too big for him, and I think it'd be a little too big for him even when he's fully grown. But um, maybe he could get his own little dark saber. Um, I think that about sums it up. The Yoda's lightsaber, that's a retcon. In the Vader comics, it shows the big fat. I don't even know what species he is. He's not Twi'lek, I don't think. But anyways, he's big and fat, and he's got like those horns. I don't know. Um, yeah, he destroyed Yoda's lightsaber in the comics. He throws it into the furnace, and bye bye. So another comment I'll make is it's not a Dave Filoni episode if he does not retcon something from the comics. My man's just he hates those things. He's like, "Oh, you read comics? Well, that didn't happen." So I don't. I guess I don't know. How did he? How did they get Yoda's lightsaber back? Like Yoda definitely did not grab it on the way out of. He did not grab it out of the little council chamber after he fell. Then again, how did Luke Skywalker's or how did Anakin's lightsaber get found after it fell through the freaking clouds of Bespin? It don't think about it too much. Just don't think about it too much. So overall, I think that was like probably another 10 out of 10 episode. These last 2 episodes that we've gotten have been some of the best Star Wars that we've gotten in years. And it's got me really looking forward to next week. And it's got me looking forward to Ahsoka. It's got me looking forward to Kenobi, to Andor. It like it gets you excited for all of them. So next week, I think there will be more emphasis on Boba Fett. I think Boba Fett will be the one being the uh, front character, while all of these characters that have kind of had their own scenes in these last 2 episodes get the backseat, essentially. So all of the roads of this show have now intertwined, and it's time to see the final showdown. So it's gonna be a good one. I have no doubt it's gonna be a good one. It's probably gonna end up setting up maybe another season of the Book of Boba Fett. We'll probably get an idea of what direction that Din Djarin's heading off in. We'll probably I don't know. It's kind of hard to speculate after all the stuff we've gotten. I couldn't have predicted a lot of the stuff that happened these last 2 episodes. So we'll just leave that to find out next week. However, I will say there will not be an episode of the Chimaera Conversations next Wednesday. I will be going on a family vacation to Walt Disney World, and I will not have my laptop nor anything to record with, so it just won't happen. And that kind of sucks because I'm sure I'll be watching the season finale on Wednesday, and I won't be able to talk about it. So rest assured, I will talk about it the Wednesday I get back. So you will be able to hear my opinions on the show as a whole after seeing all of it. And then of course when I get back, I'm going to watch the show through and through. I'm gonna see it all. Watch, just sit down one day, watch it. So that's basically all I've got for this episode. Nice short one, not too much Star Wars news. So I will see you guys in 2 weeks.